hood design. It's not going to be painted, this is actually going to be metal. We're going to raise the power dome at the center of the hood to encompass the Borla fuel injection. It's a downdraft, like a Weber setup, individual throttle body. So we're trying to decide what's going to look good. We're using this design and making it wider, and we're just playing around with some ideas before we start cutting with the metal. So stay tuned. Alright, so we've laid out a few patterns, we've scrapped a few ideas. We ended up with a 71 Mach 1 hood scoop there for a while. We come up with this design. You've got a lot of air going into the front end with this open radiator. It's going to be going into the engine bay, so we need to get it out. So we're going to do some heat extractors. We'll put a little lip on here, and the looper will go down, so we'll pull the air out as well. This whole center section will be raised for the velocity stacks. That's going to be the intake, so it'll get plenty of air in there. So as long as we don't heat soak it in the car, which the heat extractor should get the air out, the air going into the velocity stack should be cool. So I think this will be a win right here. So right now we're going to move forward with this design. We might pick around a few other ideas just before we start cutting, but this right now is the winning design so far. Alright, so remember we were talking about, see we still got a couple more silver screws to take out, but we did some black screws around the back window. We've replaced all the black screws that are in the car and the cabin. It's got the racing stripe right down the middle. This is a carbon fiber material, and we did a diamond pleat in there, so it looks really good. So the back wall and the headliner all have that diamond pleat, and we're going to do a console with that diamond pleat in it as well. I've got some door panels being made. They're going to be aluminum with the diamond pleat design in them, so it's going to be a really, really sharp looking interior going in. I've got more boom mat to go in the floor here to cover this Eastwood mat, so you know, putting it over it will just make it a little bit thicker. This is where the heat and all the noise comes through anyhow, so we've got the boom mat in the ceiling, the back wall all the way up the toe board, and now we'll cover the tunnel and the floor as well. So it's going to be a really nice truck with the air conditioner and all this boom mat in here. It'll stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Alright, so we've mounted the cross steer in here. So we have the Gilmer belt drive, which is on the crank, that we have to clear, and I can put my fingers underneath that without any problem whatsoever. So I've got at least an inch clearance between that. And then you remember I put the air compressor down low. I did a low mount so I keep it clean on this side. And I've got probably a half inch to 3/4 inch there, maybe more. So we're looking good as far as clearance issues going. This does create another problem, which is the alternator. The alternator was hitting the top of the rack and pinion box. So we're going to have to bring that up some. So there's a low mount, but I think we've run out of room because the frame rail is in the way. So we're probably going to have to come up to a mid mount to get above the frame rail for that side. The alternator is, you know, not as ugly as an air compressor because the air compressor has hoses and everything. Where the air compressor is right now, I can hide all the hoses. So the alternator will be smaller and compact. If I have to move it up, I think it'll be a small sacrifice, but it'll all work out nice. So just showing you some of the problems we run into as we're building these cars. Stay tuned. We're still going to put some hood extractors here, but what we did is we cut the center out of the hood and we raised it. We moved it back about 3 inches so the angle is still nice and straight. So we took this piece from there and we moved it back until the angle matched that with basically a straight angle. Raised it up 2 inches so it's got a cowl look. Remember, we got the velocity stacks that are in here and they needed more real estate, more height, so they could sit inside the engine bay. So we want to do something different, not just your normal, you know, Boss hood scoop. So we're kind of designing our own hood scoop. So you'll see as it's coming along. It looks pretty good. So here we are on the 46 Dodge. We're in crunch time right now. You can see the wiring. I mean, it just looks like a giant mess in here. I had to move the fuse panel box over. I've got to wire in the air conditioner. I've got to wire in the power steering. I got to wire in the wipers. I got to wire in the transmission. Remember, we're putting a tunnel in here, so I've got to wire up the tunnel, the lights in the tunnel. So I've moved a couple of switches to the center console there. Outside, there's a lot going on outside. Remember here, I still got a steering column to go, the console, the seats. The seats need to move over a little bit so everything fits. We got fluids to put in the motor. We've got a lot to go on. We're in crunch time the last few days. He gave me a couple extra days to finish on the car. I guess he's visiting with his family before he wants to pick it up. So we're trying to use that time wisely here. We're putting in a lot of extra hours. I was here to 11:30 the other night. I was here to 7 o'clock last night. And it's probably going to be a long one today. But we're getting it done. We're going to make this happen for him so he can take it for a drive to Savannah. Stay tuned. All right. So we ended up with a cowl hood. It looks quite amazingly, looks really good on this car. We've got the heat extractors that really give it it kind of snazzes it up really nice. Looks really good. We're going to have the room for everything that we need to fit under the hood. I think it goes with the overall build in the front, so it gives some height to it, some aggression. It's looking really good. So we're going to get this welded up, and we're going to make some little pieces for the little heat extractors to finish them off. But we'll get this welded up, nice and grinded, metal blended in really nice. The back looks really good. It's still using the windshield valance. So yeah, so the next up is the fender flares. So I'm going to start with them. I got them started over here. I've got a nice round shape. So I'll start working on my fender flares. Stay tuned.